Hey there, thanks for stopping by. Today, I'm going to go through what I've been doing to prepare for a big match that I've got next week. I'm going to show you some of the training I've been doing, some of the preparation work that's gone into this. It's a fairly big match, and I am squatted with 35-time national champion Nils Jonasson. And he's going to crush me. So I'm going to do today what any rational competitor would do. I'm going to clean my gun because that's going to make all the difference. That's what's going to fix it. Nils is going to be shooting his Canic production. So he's going to be shooting iron sights out of a handgun. He's going to have to reload. I think he's only allowed 15 rounds. I've never shot really production, but I think that's the rule. I'm going to be shooting my JP-5 PCC. So on paper, I should have a big advantage. But he's been doing this for decades and has 34 national championships under his belt. I've been doing this 18 months. I'm still the new guy out there. And I am really excited to go out there and get my butt kicked by Nils. So today, here's what I've been working on. Here's what I'm training towards. And let's see what excuses I can eliminate for myself as I step up to face Nils Jonasson head to head. Let's get into it.
Shooter, make ready. Are you ready? Stand by.
I'm working on a transition today because in today's competition this evening, I have a shoulder change, and I get a 5-second bonus for shooting weak shoulder on a target. One of the mistakes that I make, and I've seen others make, is when they're transitioning, okay? Sometimes they'll try and transition here, which is bad. So the first thing that has to happen, step one, is the gun needs to be grabbed here. Now I have full control of the gun, and I'm not near the trigger where anything's gonna go funky, right? So first hand is here. Now, the next problem that I see as I move, two things can happen. I can catch myself in the chin and get hung up here, or it can catch on my shirt as I'm switching over and that fabric get in the way. So what I'm working on right now is making sure that I disengage from the gun first. Hand transition, disengage from the gun, re-engage, and I'm on target. It needs to be second nature. Throughout this video, I'm going to sprinkle some of this dry fire practice through here, and then I'm going to show you how it applies at a match.
You're finished. Unload, show clear.
All right, so let's talk about JP-5 for a second here and the things that I'm going to check and just make sure are in order before I go into a big match. I keep my gun fairly clean. I'm not going to bore you and make you watch me go through and check every lever and make sure there's nothing binding or anything like that. But I went through every single lever, made sure there's no like major buildup or anything. I've recently taken the gun apart and she's good to go. Where I do want to make sure I make a change is I want to look at the extractor spring on this gun. It is one common fail point. Having something like that I could have changed and could have swapped out fail before a big match like that is the absolute worst. Okay, so this just needs cleaned. I keep the barrel again fairly clean. I gave it a thorough cleaning here recently, but I'm gonna clean the barrel real good. We're gonna go out and shoot today. I do get this question a lot. Why do I have two just red dots? There's no magnification on the 510C here. And then over here I have the 407C as my 45 offset. Why would I just have two dots? Well, the very basic reason is this is a backup for the 510C. If it goes down, I still can complete a match with the offset. Not quite as comfortably, but I can do it. The next reason, though, is when you're shooting matches, especially in steel, I think, they really like to have you lean around obstacles, and they like that left-hand lean where you're having to lean to your left to shoot a target around a barrier to your right. And guys, I can't... you have to just pick up a rifle and do it sometime. Put a barrier in front of you, lean to the left, and try and shoot a target that's extreme right around that. And it's amazing the difference it makes when you're able to just tilt the gun. Using my camera for one, mark on the wall for the other, leaning around an obstacle. It's just amazing how much a difference that thing makes. So here we go. So this is something I practice quite a bit in my dry fire. It's just switching between the two optics and making that a natural transition. That primary optic is red, my offset is green, so that allows my brain to make that switch. But it's something I really have to work on, is making sure I can switch that smoothly. And I prefer to have them two different colors. That, I think, is a unique Danny thing. I don't know that anybody else, I've heard anybody else say that, but it's something that I did, and I really like it that way. So that's why the 45. So the HK MP5 roller delayed system, this is the same system. It's exactly the same thing. JP just took it and, I'll say, perfected it and put it into an amazing competition rifle. So this spring looks good. This is the one that I really want to look at and check today, because if there's a spring that's going to fail on it, it's going to be your extractor spring. Good angle on. There we go. You can kind of start to see between those things. You shouldn't be able to see any light or any air between those two things. So this is not bad, but I'm going to swap it out while I have it apart. Might as well. Okay, here's a new one, and there's no gap whatsoever between these two legs. It's a minor difference, but it's there, so I'm going to go ahead and swap that spring out and not have to worry about it anymore. And just so there are a few cents, so might as well not have to deal with it. All right, we're going to fly through this. I do a thorough cleaning of the extractor and everything here, and you're going to see me scrub on this extractor for a minute, and then I finally make the decision. I've got a spare. I'm going to go ahead and replace this extractor. But I'm not going to make you sit through all of this, so I'm going to like 10x speed right now. So I go through and clean the whole thing really good, and then I'm going to slow down so you can kind of see how this spring installs here and how they put that extractor back. Okay, so I decided to swap out the extractor. Brand new extractor. It's going in here. The other extractor looked okay, but there was definitely some wear on the front of it, and the edge here was getting just a touch thin. There was a couple little spots where I thought, hey, I've got it apart. I'm working on this now. I might as well swap that out. So I'm swapping out that. So there's the new extractor. Here's the new spring. The spring, there's a little bit of a trick to this. You just put the spring in where it's going to go, and then you push down on a hard surface. See if I can get it to show here. Not quite hard enough, but as you click it in place, it still needs to go down this little edge right here sticking up. It's not quite down in place in this spot where it goes. So you flip it over and push it in like this, just light pressure, and it clicks right in place. So now my extractor is completely brand new extractor spring. And now I'm just gonna put the bolt carrier group back together. Put a little bit of oil on the places that show a little bit of metal wear, and anywhere there's going to be metal on metal contact. I run my gun a little bit wet, nothing crazy, but I get it fairly oiled, and then I wipe off the excess. I also oil the top of the action up a little bit, the upper there, just on those places where that thing slides back and forth. Function test, good. Yeah, I love that trigger. This is that trigger by Ballistic Engineering here in Tempe, Arizona. Gosh, that thing's nice. Okay, realizing I haven't changed the battery in my primary optic for more than a year, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Again, it's one of those things, I'm coming up on a big match. Why not just swap it while I'm here thinking about it? If I don't and it fails, I will feel like a complete idiot. All right, here's me practicing some unloaded starts. And I know it could get boring watching somebody dry fire practice like this, but I just want you to kind of see, there's hours that go into this. I spend more time dry firing than I do out on the range by far, probably 10x. So if you're getting into competition shooting and you're wanting to improve and improve fast, this is where you do it.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Next thing that is the zero on this JP-5. It's been a while since I sat down and like carefully checked zero. I had a few misses on my most recent match, and that's why. It's because my zero's off. That's got to be it. So I can't let Jonasson beat me because of that. So let's go sight this thing in. All right, we've made it out to the range. I've done everything that I can do to make sure my gun is not going to give me any excuses on this why Nils crushed me so completely. So we're gonna check zero and eliminate that as one of my possible excuses, and go from there. So here we go. We're gonna shift this just over a bit, and then we should be dialed in at 25 yards. And probably the most common practiced skill in competition shooting, reloads. And don't forget about moving reloads.
Ready.
I've got my zero dialed in. Now I'm gonna just run some quick drills. I wanna check distances and I wanna get some moving shots. So I'm gonna start at 25 yards. I'm gonna put a couple doubles in. Actually, no, I'm going to back up to 50 yards. I'm going to start at 50 yards. I'm going to hit 2 on each of the targets, run to 25 yards, 2 on each of the targets, close into 15, 2 on each of the targets. I have steel on each side of the camera here so you can kind of see that work, and hopefully I don't shoot my camera. I'll be right back. Let's run that the other way. I'm going to do 1-1 and then back to 25 and 1-1. Here we go. All right, well, as you can probably see from my tracks, I didn't get to film all of them. But that's some of my runs. It's hot out here. Spring steel, they're going to make us do a lot of that. A lot of running, a lot of switching areas and distances on targets. That's what they did last year. We'll be jumping out of like positioned helicopters and shooting over old cars, and it'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited to get out there, excited to shoot with Nils. And today I think I've eliminated every built-in excuse that a wuss like me could come up with. Now it's just my skills against his. He's gonna clobber me, but that's why I'm here. I want to learn. Either I'm gonna get lucky and beat him on a stage or two, or he's gonna completely annihilate me. And either way, that'll make good footage. The point of this is, I'm not out to beat Nils Jonasson. I'm out to do the best that I can, and whatever that is for me, that's great. I want to win. I mean, who doesn't? But I'm realistic about what my expectations are. I've been shooting 18 months. He's been shooting decades, and he has 34 national championships to his name. I know what I'm up against, and I'm really excited to get in there, learn from the best.
I have met some incredible shooters in this community. I've met Max Leograndis, got to shoot with him. AJ Anthony, got to shoot alongside him. About to shoot alongside Nils Jonasson. I've shot with him in matches before, but never right at his side. I met Jerry Michelik the other day. Really incredible to get into a community of shooters who are so hungry and eager to help. Jerry stood there and talked to me for a long time about prepping for this match. I told him, yeah, I'm sticking with this ammo for right now because I got a match coming up. And he's don't be that guy, don't switch your ammo. So it's nice to get tips and tricks from the absolute best of the best. And hey, Jerry's the GOAT. So nice to be able to have that conversation with him. So that's my training for the day. Tune in next week and we'll see how that match against Nils Jonasson went at Spring Steel Rio Salado Sportsman's Club. See you next week.